All right, guys. Jeff here on a Tuesday, 7:30. I kind of was thinking that I wasn't going to be doing this doing the video tonight and pushing it to tomorrow. And maybe I should have done that. I don't know, but we're rolling with it. Um let's see. The reason why I would have put it off, I don't have notes and stuff, so I'm going to be going kind of ad hoc here. Um Feel free to comment and all that. I'm going to go over some things, a bunch of little things. I don't have notes because today I was meeting with our friend Jeff Mikado from Slap Happy Toys. He's going to be coming on and helping us with some things, and then some marketing stuff, and then I had some stuff going on with the news in Fort Myers, and I'll get into that in just a minute. And then the other major thing here at my house, you see I got my Toy Story pinball back here, but about a month ago or so, I traded my Elton John. I had an Elton John pinball machine, and then I traded that in for the Star Wars. So my Star Wars. Let me just, if I share this, you'll see you got Joey here. I'm going to talk about him in a minute, but let me just, yeah, so here it is. So this is, you'll see my friend here. Yeah, my friend Rich over here. He doesn't like to have his photo taken, but anyway, that's where I'm sitting right now. And Elton is leaving, and I traded it for the Star Wars pin. So if you know, and then I put I don't have the topper. It just came out, which is a bunch of money. But anyway, I put the lunchbox up there. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you guys. Let me go ahead and remove that. So that's kind of what happened. So the Little Shop of Games is coming over to pick that up, and I had everything prepared to do that. And then just something happened, and he wasn't going to be able to come over. Hey, man, Mark, Mr. Moriarty, I'm glad you're back in the mix, and I'm looking forward to seeing you, not at Fort Myers, unfortunately, but we will see you in Orlando on February 1st. Pretty cool. I'll be seeing you before that, I'm sure, though. And then Jonathan, hey, how are you doing? Hopefully you're doing great, and maybe we'll see you soon also. And Jose, hopefully Jose was at our show this last weekend. He's become a regular with us, and he brings some really good stuff, games, some good mixture of items. He's pretty much doing every show right now. Pretty cool guy. And he was down in, hopefully you had a great show there in Coral Springs. I know that we did. It was pretty good. And hey, Mike, Margaret and Mike and John, you guys missed a good one down there in Coral Springs, man. I mean, it was a banger for sure. I usually go, I have like this weekend, this last Sunday, I have a percentage. So when you see a number on the internet, and then based on us doing well over, probably, I don't know, somewhere in the 150 shows now, I would say somewhere around that number, 125 to 140 maybe shows, somewhere in that neighborhood. What I do is I'm able to kind of gauge how many people are going to come based on the number you see online. Now, every once in a while, I'll be off, and sometimes I'm off a bunch, and that could be people don't show up. I've had that, or in this case, we had at least 50% more than I thought that we would have. I mean, it was literally almost like July. It was our July numbers, and man, it was really good. I'm going to show you some pictures of that. when I get back to, let me redo our photos, my photo thing here, and I'll come back to that. But just, a really, really, really good show. Okay. Yeah, Mike, you guys went to see the Wienermobile. They actually let us go in the. Oh wow, that's cool. That's cool. I thought I saw a picture though that one got stuck underneath the a viaduct recently or something, and yeah, and Marco was there. I got a cool piece from Marco this weekend. He's got another one kind of saving for me. We're not going to reveal that right now, but hey, Marco and Archie Asar, he had the dinosaurs. He's done a couple shows now. He's going to do a couple more, and so we're glad to have everybody here. All right, let me go again. I'm going to just show a couple pictures here. So this is our friend Joey, man. He brought out he probably brought out at least, there are 5 people or so with him, and he owns Way Back When. He actually bought the Voltron here that I brought. I had my own booth, which I'm going to talk a little bit about. I had a booth set up a couple weeks out, believe it or not. I mean, this is a big room, guys. And, at Christmas time, people don't want to, they kind of drag a little bit on signing up. And this is a big room to fill. I actually had a couple tables left, about a week out or 2 weeks out. And then I had a rush at the end, like a week out. We had a rush at the end but I had decided that I was gonna have a booth here, and let me show you the setup here. And I actually learned quite a bit. Normally, if I don't set up. Now, why don't I set up? In general, customers, people ask me why I don't set up. Vendors say, why don't you? Okay, in general, someone that runs a show is going to set up, and that, that's really most of the time, that's really the reason why they're having the show. Okay, is because they can set up and they get their space for free, and that's the idea. In my case, I look at it as, pretty much a lot of this stuff I bought from vendors. And so I feel like this is just my opinion. So I literally am working all the way down to the day of the show to promote the show and to organize the show and all that. So whenever I'm set up, you can see that by this picture here, that it's not that organized. I mean, I got my grid wall up thanks to my buddy Sean, helper Sean, and I just start putting stuff out. Some of this stuff I borrowed from my friend who couldn't set up. But anyway, the idea here is I just, I had some space. I had an end cap left. And so I went ahead and used it. And I learned actually quite a lot. Now, normally I don't learn a lot. I just kind of say, okay, I'm setting up and I put stuff out and maybe it sells. But in this case, another reason I didn't sell up, because our friends Mark weren't there. They were at another show. And, not every Mark and some other people, I'm only mentioning Mark because he's an important vendor for me. So, but he was at another show, and that's okay. People go on vacation. Not everybody can do every show. Okay. But so this is part of what, I learned. So what we're going to do going forward is I'm going to try to have my own space. Now, the space is not to necessarily have, I'm not trying to compete with vendors. I'm not even really trying to sell like big money stuff or whatever. But the idea is I'm trying to fill, you guys ask for certain items and you want certain things or whatever. And I'm going to try to have maybe, like for instance, one time there was a short period of time where unfortunately Margaret having some medical stuff, like some surgery or something like that. And anyway, so she was out for several months. Okay. Due to that, Margaret and Mike do every show with the Barbies and the Hot Wheels. They're pretty much at almost every show. So they've been with me since the beginning, but people get sick, things happen, life is life, and that's the way it is. So we actually had a show one time with no Barbies because literally she had canceled long before that. The one other lady that had signed up to do Barbies, she didn't show. She had to cancel at the last minute. And then our friend, somebody else that had Barbie, left them home. So we didn't happen to that one show. I think it was in Jacksonville. We happened to have no Barbie. So, I need to be prepared to fill a void, basically, is what I'm. The other thing is I'm always trying to figure out where the music is going. I want to have music at the show. It's very important to me. I'm trying to create a party. What I realized is that people that come over my house, you'll see my background here, and I'll just remove my photos so you could, when people come in my room here, I know you guys only see this certain part, and maybe I'll change it around, but when people come in my house, there's a lot of people that I'm going to call General Joes, people that aren't in the toy world, that aren't following us, that aren't fans of our page or shows or whatever. And like, let's say a plumber or someone coming to fix something and they've never been here before. And when they walk in, because this is my front door right here, guys. Okay. When you walk in here and you're not you're not used to seeing toys, you're not in that world, there is not one person that's come in here that hasn't said, what the hell? Because I got figures and I'm sure a lot of you guys have the same setup. Okay. But I mean, when you come in my house, it's arcade and figures and all that. So I want that for the show. I want people to do that when they come in the show. That is my goal, is when they come in the show, they're just like feeling like, wow, this is awesome. Okay. And that's my goal. So I think I'm going to probably set up more, which means, yeah. And I'm going to take up some space, for a display setup mostly. And then we'll have our music, and it'll be kind of a central point in the show where people can get information. And we're going to add more help is what we're going to do. So I won't be wandering around as much, but I will, we're adding more help. So Sean is now at every show. We're going to be bringing Jeff into the show, helping out more. We still have TK that'll be at some of the shows. And so, this is what is amazing. This is what is really great about, we're not doing one show. We're doing the 20 plus events a year. So that allows us to do some things that maybe some other shows can't do. Or, if they're a big one day show or weekend show, then they can do that. But I'm, what I'm kind of at the point now where, like, I learned this weekend that, I want to fill that void. I want to have that spot. I want to do some things that differently. I learned something every show. The Coral Springs was a great event. Let me go ahead and just share a few more pictures from here. Let me let's see. Let me actually, before I do that, let's go over these comments here a little bit. And yeah, okay. So Marco said it was full. Yep, definitely was that. The train set. Yep. Jason, that train set was the train set was sorry, I'm just trying to make it bigger for you. I did sell the train set. I had just gotten that a few weeks ago, actually. What I did is I just pulled some stuff out that I had in storage or in my room that I was like, okay, I have this. I think these are good, kind of eye candy, right? And I had it at a price that was, fair, but not ridiculous. and it was almost not quite at a I don't want to sell it price, but it was, I really wasn't budging, because a lot of this stuff, if it's vintage, it's a little harder to replace. So yeah, the Transformers train sold there, and then I got a lot of questions about the Voltrons and Godzilla here, which didn't sell. At the end, I just said I just don't want to sell it, because I had at least 30 people ask me about that thing. All right, Gustavo. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, well, I'm going to talk about January 18th here in just a minute, Gustavo, and I'll follow up here. If we're going to talk about where the building is, we're going to talk about guests. I'm going to talk about where you might see us, and then Archie. I think I'm not sure if you signed up for the Fort Myers, but I know you're signed up for Orlando now. And speaking of that, I'll come to the schedule here in a second. And Andy, yeah, hey, thanks for saying that. We really try to make it really is organized, and I'm adding help. Like I said, I'm adding help so that people are able to do it. And the other thing that we're going to do, I'm going to try to. A lot of times we don't. There's a few shows that are 1 days that we don't have setup time the night before. Not a lot of people use it, unfortunately. We only get, even though some of the cost can be a couple $1,000s to have that night before setup, and then we only have, like, let's say 20% or less or a little bit more, let's say, use that time to set up. Because they either don't want to drive or whatever. And then Donna, hey, we missed you. I know you were taking a little break or whatever, but you missed out. You missed out on a good show. We wish you were there. Or we like seeing your positive. I like seeing your positiveness out there, and so we missed you out there. No, Raphael, if you're interested in the blimp, I will have it at the Fort Myers show if you want to come over there, or, or you can hit me up and I maybe dig it out. It's, but I'm not shipping it. I don't do that. So I don't have time to, that's why some of this stuff is in here, because I'm not putting it on eBay. I don't like to ship stuff. I just, want people to come to the show. So, and Marco, hey, yes, Marco, you sold me one of those Voltrons. The other Voltron actually was that you sold me was sold to somebody else, or I traded it to a friend. And then this Voltron was actually a different one that I had a long time ago that I bought back from a guy who needed some money. So anyway, it's Voltron sells. I'm surprised when I got those from you, they weren't already sold. So anyway, hey, Sean, thank you again. Sean is one of the, I say he's number one because he's the first helper, basically employee of Florida Toy Shows, my main guy. Appreciate all his help. Couldn't, I say we couldn't run the show without him now, but we probably could, but it wouldn't, be as smooth. Okay. All right. Well, okay. That's we'll hope to see you soon then. Feel free, if you want to let me know, come over to Fort Myers. I'll talk to them. And all right, Marco. And Marco is going to be moving up. He might be moving to 3 tables here. I don't know. That's what he says. We'll see. Okay, let me show some more photos real quick about on the Coral Springs. This should give you guys an idea. I did bring some Star Wars graded, Indiana Jones. This is some stuff I had at my booth. The Nintendo, this is an empty box, but it's a New York pre-release box, so it's pretty rare. Just something I had in a tote. And then these are some Star Wars pieces that I borrowed. And this was some pictures of the show. The crowd here. It was the doors over here. Brutus is kind of buried over here. You can see them, but I mean, it was busy all the way to 4 o'clock, basically. I mean, it was pretty jammed. And then you had Sean over here with the track. This is just a light version of what he had at his table there. And then, he's got his new track created, and, this my space. This is a guy bought the Voltron, and I sold him all of these planes. He bought them all, and I've had some of these. I'm missing these already, but I just happen to have them in this case that I've been working on to organize my stuff. And these are all the Seekers in one shot, basically. So yeah, he bought that and the Voltron, and then Joey bought the other Voltron. This is our buddy Avi Mel, and I mean his thing was busy all day too. We got Armando, our game guy. These guys, I really like them, the awesome diecast guys, but I didn't really like this sign being here, but it is what it is. I don't know. I need to talk to these guys. They got a cool store. And then this is some Pokemon stuff, guys, that were coming. These guys are Hot Wheels down here. I mean, we had a little bit of everything there. This was a Voltron. Oh, so I'm going into photos that have nothing to do with the show. So let me go ahead and that's the end of that. So let me that's another Voltron that I had. I actually lowered the price of that, but I don't think I'm going to sell that. I think got that from John. Let's see, Zapata. So I'm going to hold on to that, I think. So, okay. So let me go ahead and talk a little bit about the schedule coming up. The Fort Myers show is in just over a week. I think I'm going to try to get Keith maybe on here, possibly interview, or just, we'll see if we can get him. But anyway, we will have Keith Coogan there at the show next a week from Sunday, and then Brutus will be back. Keep in mind, we're friends with Brutus really now. Since over the years that we've had, he's been to a bunch of our shows. I mean, some people might go, oh, we've seen him, whatever. But he was busy, man. He was busy. People want to see him. People come out and him and his wife or whatever will hit me up and say, hey, can I come to the show? And I don't have, booking guests is I'm thinking it's going to change. Okay. Cause I've got a new connection that, is wanting to book people. Hopefully it becomes easier, but it's kind of a pain in the ass. I'll be honest with you guys, like booking guests. Cause, you got to make decisions, and then, I'm focused on trying to get, the show organized, and then, book the next venue and finding new venues and getting flyers out and all of this stuff. And then it's like, you contact the people and then they might get back. It's kind of a pain. So like, our shows aren't about guests, and it's not going to become that. I still would like to get more. I think we're going to have more. I know for sure we are. It's just getting it organized and having great people that the great connections that can book people. Okay. That it's not BS. It's like, hey, I know this person, this is how much their guarantee is, or this is how much, or they want, or whatever it is. Okay. And we're okay with spending the money then to have them here or whatever, because at the end of the day, our shows aren't about guests, and maybe if we had somebody that I can't afford, maybe that would change the attendance. But in general, the guests that we would have are not, maybe that could change. Because, I just don't think our shows are about that. And so, I'm going to get whoever I can get and that contacts me, and then, that I think is fun and cool. Or maybe they're somewhat local. I got some surprises for you guys though, for the later in the year. The show with the most guests is going to be July, okay? Because it's a 2-day show. It's our biggest show, and that gives me, it's our biggest attended show. It's our biggest show of the year right now. So it's going to be, that's where I'm going to for sure have guests. Okay, more than one. Okay, and let's see. Let me go down here and just go a couple more comments I see here. Looking forward to new vendor. Oh yeah, okay, cool. That's great. And we always have new vendors at the show. And okay, yeah, just message you can go ahead and message me on that, and we'll and Archie, okay. Yeah, it can be a pain. That's for sure. Okay. So again, we'll have at Fort Myers, we're gonna have both Keith Coogan and Brutus out. Maybe we'll get somebody else. Who knows at the last minute. I got some stuff I'll post once I get approval. This is a picture that I posted, I think, a week ago or so. This is some pictures I took with Keith at Lakeland a couple of years ago. Just a very cool guy. If you get a chance, come down, talk to him. He's just got all these stories and stuff. And him and his wife are really cool. And I'm really happy to have them here. And they moved to Florida, so we might see him a little bit more here. All right, so I'm going to go to the schedule. This is subject to change because I am, I'm still working on venues and stuff like that. I'm hoping to book. I know that my Con Misfits show that may change. I mean, I want to have this date and this show, but it's not going to be at Avanti. So I'm working on another venue. But basically, and then the Sarasota could still change because of a trip that we're doing right before that. And the reason why this was going to be March 1st anyway instead of May is because normally we have May, and we'll be adding in. I just got to check in with the lady there and get the date nailed down. In May, most likely we will be back at Port St. Lucie, I think. Okay. And then let's see. And then so the reason why this is March 1st anyway is because that municipal auditorium is going to be closing. I think April 1st or something like that for over a year. They're going to be doing some stuff. So yes, it's not going to be at night though, Mike. I'm going to talk about that here in just a minute. The Fort Myers show, actually, I will say it now. The Fort Myers show, let me go ahead and go to a map. We're going to have set up during the day on Saturday, like around like noon to 6-ish. Okay. So if you want to come down and set up on Saturday, I was just told that. And then, oh yeah, Royal Rumble with Brutus. Wow, that's cool. That is cool. Yes, the plan right now is for the Coral Springs to go to 2 days. I've got to confirm with that. I do have a contract already for 1 day, but I need to follow up and tell her that I want to do 2 days. I mean, she's already been informed on that, so it's just a matter of making a change to our contract down there, and then yeah, so we will get that. So yes, that's I'm planning on that being 2 days, and I'm planning on having guests there this next time because I want to see what's going to happen. So Ocala, I haven't even posted. So you're going to see no 2 days. We are going to have some 2-day shows. So basically April and July, which are our biggest months of the year. That's when I'm trying to fill those months with 2-day shows. The Star Wars show, Brian, is going to be, I think, mixed in with the Collector, and we may still go back to. I haven't found a good venue yet to go and rent. To move it from the VFW. So I don't know. We'll still maybe go back to that. I don't know. That's not what I want to do. But we may fill that in. But right now I have at least a 1-day show in the big space in Kissimmee. I'm going to be posting that soon also. Yes, there will be Jacksonville. The closest one right now is our North Florida Collector Fest. And then I'll have a Jacksonville area one later in the year, like we normally do in September. There's also a possibility of Super RetroCon being in there in Jacksonville, but I've got to work on the venue. So right now, tomorrow, I'm going to be posting. I'm going to be posting the Tampa show online for registration. And just to give you guys an idea, Fort Myers, I still have tables for that. I don't think I have any corners. I think I'm out of walls also. You just let me know if you're interested. But I'm coming down to the wire on that. Orlando, I've got maybe a wall or two left, maybe, and then a couple aisles. Then that's sold out. Okay, so like I got probably 4 tables or something left. And then Space Coast, I'm down to I think aisles there also. So you're going to be starting to see some ads in there for that, and then we're gonna Sarasota. I'm going to confirm and post that probably by the end of the week. And I just got to see. I just got to see what's up. Let's see. Usually the Star Wars show is in Orlando, Archie, but let me look into that space. That's and then Ed, we missed you, and when you came down here, I thought you were coming over, swinging by the house there, but we missed you. But maybe we'll see you up your way. Let's see. Yeah, so I'll be posting Tampa tomorrow, and then I'm working on Sarasota, and I'm also working on this Con Misfits thing. All the Tampa shows are all kind of set in stone. Same thing with this Bradenton. I just need to follow up with a couple people. And yeah, so the schedule is going to change, but we're going to be for Fort Myers. We are I'm going to go ahead. We are, I'm going to show Chrome tab here.
I want to know where Space Coast is located.
It's at the Space Coast Convention Center, which is behind the Holiday Inn. I think it's Holiday Inn Express on 95 in Cocoa. Okay. Oh, look at. Oh no, that's not my show. This is where we're at in this same building that we've been at the last basically since we started down there. We may be on the news for the show. I'm going to be running some ads that you'll find out. I think I am. I got contacted about it, so we'll see if that works. And then we're in Florida Weekly. I think we did an article. I think our article is going to come out about our show in the Florida Weekly paper. That's and so our show isn't going to be right inside this area this time. We're going to be over here on the other side, basically our original building. Okay. Our original space was over here. This is basically this is the hotel here. Sorry, guys, I'm moving around. Let me go ahead and let's look at that building here. But let me bring up photos for that, and then I'll show you guys. All right. And all right, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing this, and I'll share with this other thing with you guys. Thanks for sticking around. I know it's a long video, but just want to share this with you guys. Okay, so this is the room that we're going to be back in this room. Part of the reason why I think that's Jeff Picato, actually. Maybe not though. But so this is the room that we're going to be in. I think this is next door. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I'm looking. I'm all over the place here. This is not supposed to. Anyway, this is the room. Let me go ahead and this is the room. So you got Brutus there. And then this is our show that we had in September of 24. So this is the room. Now, the reason why I picked this one instead of the other one is because the other one has too many doors. I mean, in we got a lot more doorways. Now that's, you might say, I mean, technically this has a roll-up door. There are doors over here. It just seemed like it was a little bit better set up for our show. So we're gonna go back into this room for the show in November. In January, in a couple weeks. Okay, so and we will be back here. All right. So again, we're there. You're going to see me set up. Now, the other thing that I'm doing, we are doing early bird pricing for Fort Myers. I'm going to post the tickets in the morning. I know that's kind of late. I'm going to have a sale because we are running, doing the early bird pricing, which is basically 15 before noon and 10 afternoon. I am going to run a sale where if you buy the tickets online, up through Thursday of next week, a week. So 10 days or something like that. You'll be able to get a discount on the tickets and stuff online. And then, if you don't, then, if you don't get tickets online, then you can get them at the door. And so, it's just like, when you add guests and all this stuff, and, we're just trying to, we're trying to keep everything keep everything good, but this is just a growing business and costs and stuff like that. So anyway,
So what time is early bird?
9 to 12.
And general admission?
12 to 4. Well, no, it's 12 to 3:30.
No, 12 to 4. Because the show is open until 4
Oh,
o'clock.
yes. Okay. That's right. I now know why that mistake is on that sheet. 12 to 4. The other thing too is you'll see here, Marco, who does every show, doesn't want to do a 2-day show. He only wants a 1-day show because vendors, so in order for me to not do 1 day, I want to do 2-day shows because I spend money for the building and the advertising and all that. I'd rather do more 2-day shows, but vendors only wanted, a lot of them down here because of the cost of hotels and everything. They only want to do 1-day shows. So in order to, kind of get 2 days, kind of a 2-day show, I just kind of updated what we do. So anyway, okay, cool. So we'll be at the Coco show, in Coco on February 22nd. That's what it says here. All right. Okay, guys, we'll let you go for now, and we'll be back next Tuesday. The last thing that I want to say is, man, we're really gonna miss our friend. And I know a lot of people have talked about him. And Holly, before I talk about Adam, Holly's gonna have some cool puzzle stuff. I don't know what they're called, but she's bringing the Star Wars ones, and I'm looking forward to seeing those. So, since Adam passed away, Adam the Woo, our friend Adam the Woo, passed away on the 22nd of December. A lot of people, I think a lot of people on YouTube, I watch YouTube a lot. I think a lot of people have kind of used him, to kind of bring their channels up and get clicks and views and stuff, which is kind of BS a little bit, I just feel. But anyway, unfortunately, now, I don't know if this was confirmed or not, but I think the belief is that he died from pulmonary embolism, from a embolism, a blood clot that he had in his lung. And that happened because he was on an airplane, I guess, maybe is what is kind of consensus is, I believe. So if you're going to Europe or whatever, like he was doing, I guess there's some precautions that you would want to take. But man, we're gonna miss that guy. I will anyway. He's on, and a lot of other people will. When he did come to the show, he was very, very cool, and just again, just no agenda guy, never had a plan, just enjoying life. And so yeah, we'll miss him. So hopefully, they'll have some kind of public thing for him. But be careful out there, guys. Life is short. Enjoy your time, and come to the show so you can have some fun with us. All right. So it definitely is, man. But all your life is documented. His life is documented, so a lot of people know about him. So that's great. So anyway, all right, guys, we'll see you next week here on Tuesday is the plan, and then I'm still gonna try to do more videos. I know I keep saying that, but we're working on several things. All right, and so we'll see you next week for sure. All right, have a good evening and have a great weekend. We'll see you out there. Bye now.